So last year at Power to the Pixel, Robert Greenwald spoke about a movie called Iraq for Sale. He was able to, in 4 emails, 9 days, raise $267,000 from contributors for nothing more than getting a credit in the film. More recently, in the US presidential campaign, every day, Obama and McCain are raising over $1 million a day in sub-$1,000 contributions. Just this past Friday, a woman named Michaeline Reesley spoke about her innovative fundraising techniques at a conference in Berkeley, California that I was at as well. So my name is Slava Rubin. I work with Indiegogo. I'm a co-founder and chief of strategy and marketing. And the goal is in the next 9.5 minutes to discuss the tactics, the trends, and the tools. So you'll be the next case study, and you'll be standing up here a year from now talking about how you were able to raise your funds and become a successful project. Exactly. So just as a little bit of background, so the funding options. Clearly, you see a list here that all of you know about. Hopefully, there's national support, there's local support, there's debt, otherwise known as loans or credit cards. There's co-productions, there's sponsorships that Adam will talk more about. And really, we're not going to talk about any of these except for the last one for the next 9 minutes, which is crowdsourcing, which is really empowering yourself so that you can reach out, get directly connected to the audience, be able to raise money in advance so that you can make your projects and not rely on a guy in a suit to decide whether or not your project is good enough. It's funny that Liz mentioned, and also in the previous panel, they said that pre-sales is going away. Well, really, pre-sales is only becoming that much easier for you to do directly to your audience, and we'll discuss how that means for fundraising. Another contextual item, just to set the background, at Indiegogo, we like to say it's the best of times, it's the worst of times. So you have production costs are going down, you have digital cameras, you have distribution costs are going down, you have YouTube and whatever. You have niche audiences are becoming normal. We have Netflix and other ways of reaching these niches. And actually getting to the niche, niche is becoming mainstream, but getting to the niche is becoming that much easier with all of the technology, whether it's social networks or blogs and emails. And peer-to-peer fundraising is becoming fairly normal. It's not all great. Obviously, mainstream indie houses are struggling. The economy is not so perfect. There's more content than ever, so you're competing against everybody. Nobody wants to pay for anything. And you really need to figure out a new way of raising money and monetizing yourself. And one of the most challenging parts, and this has already been discussed a little bit, is actually reaching the audience in a bulk way is really difficult. So you have to piece it together one person at a time. So what are people doing? Is there anybody really successful, clearly I can't say that word, at reaching out to the audience and getting them to participate? Well, we mentioned Iraq for Sale. There's Matt Hansen, who spoke here last year with A Swarm of Angels, who's a local. There's organizations like Zopa, which is peer-to-peer lending, or we talked to McCain and Obama. There's also Kiva.org, which is doing peer-to-peer for microfinance. There's Celaban, which is doing similar for music. There's other movies like The 1 Second Film or Artemis Eternal. There's also a movie called Tapestries of Hope, which I just mentioned was actually Michaeline Reesley who spoke at the conversation in Berkeley. She was actually able to use Indiegogo, and I'll just show a little bit of that in a second. There's a Wikipedia movie coming out from the same people that did a movie about Craigslist. So they're raising some of their money on Wikipedia, $1 at a time. So don't think that, yeah, Robert Greenwald did it, he spoke a year ago, clearly he's special, I can't do that. Really what I'm here to say is any one of you can do that. And at Indiegogo, we built it to empower you with the tools so you don't have to have the special technical skills or figure out how to do your own entire marketing campaign without having anybody to help you. So let's just take a really quick look at the site. If this mouse moves. So this is Indiegogo, connecting projects with fans. So we're just going to go to a list of projects. It's just like in real life where you have to pitch your project. So I'm just going to an entire list here. Since we launched at Sundance in 2008, there's over 800 projects, thousands of filmmakers, hundreds of thousands of views, People have raised over $70,000. There have already been films that have gone to theatrical. There are already films that have gotten picked up. There's some films that have even won a South by Southwest award that have used these techniques. So instead of going through all the different projects, we'll just type one in we're typing in the word play, and we're searching for projects. I kind of know what's going to come up. So there's a project here, Live to Play, Play to Live, which is about the folks in the Dominican trying to always aspire to become baseball players, like Sammy Sosa or others. Clearly, it's not like football here, but there's a movie about the baseball players. And you'll see that just like in real life, you need to be able to pitch your project, the synopsis, the tags. You have any media that you want to put up. We could always play this to show the pitch clip, but we're not going to do that right now. The funding is they're looking to raise $2,000, and they've itemized all these different VIP perks. They customize the dollar amounts, the actual name of the perk, what comes with that perk. For example, a copy of the DVD, or a copy of the DVD and a poster if you give more. Or you also get a credit if you give $100. So this is totally up to you to create this project. This will take you, if you did it on your own, probably about 9-10 minutes if you had all the assets. Obviously, it doesn't matter if you're trying to do this online or in real life on a piece of paper. You need to have the information to be able to show it to somebody, which is a challenge in itself. If you wanted to, you could always promote this by going to the widget. There's a customized widget for every project. And you could grab this and put it onto any social network, any blog, any email. So if you look up here on the top left, you'll see that they're actually almost done with this fundraising round. They're trying to raise $2,000, and so far they've raised $1,969. Clearly, if one of you want to jump up and give $31, or if you have your wireless working, feel free. Some of the projects have had most of the people, they know them, and they give the thousands of dollars. Some of the projects, over 50% of the contributions came from people they had no idea who they were. As much as 90% sometimes, they didn't know who they were. Obviously, it's all about you being the hub. You use the different tools, which is Indiegogo, all of the different outlets that you have on the internet in real life, house parties, networking events like this, and you get the word out, build your audience, fundraise in advance, as opposed to hoping that somebody will give you enough money so that then you can make the project, and then hope that somebody will then one day buy it from you, right? This is empowering yourself by building your own audience, having them pre-fund, and then they become your marketing army down the road. So this is one tool. Let's go back to the presentation. And I'll just give you some things to think about, and then there's a workshop tomorrow as well. So what's the goal of your movie? Is it to pay the rent? Is it enter the industry? Is it to have a calling card? It's very important to know those things. What is your goal for the movie? Is it to know, you have to know the basics. All those other 9 techniques for fundraising, you should know all of them before you start your fundraising process or before you make a movie. Production versus P&A. Don't get caught in the problem, which is, I need enough money to make my movie, but then somehow I'll promote it or somehow it'll get out there. You need to think about that in advance. How much do you need now versus how much do you need later? Nothing better than action. Nothing better to get more money than to show something was done with the previous little amount of money. So preparing for promotion, start now. It's never too early. So production is the new promotion. Literally start today, start pre-selling. You can get people in the US and actually in much of the world, banks do not fund development of buildings unless the building, the condos in the building are at least 60 to 70% pre-sold. So the bank won't give you $1 until you tell them, we've already pre-sold 70% of the building. So why not have some of the similar concepts? So identify your audience, and that doesn't mean it has to be a big audience, but identify it. Is it Luxembourg or is it China? And either could work, because you could get either 0 of China or you could get all of Luxembourg. Just make sure you know who it is. Email is your best friend. Post your projects and your presence online. Create pitch clips. Know your strategy for your trailers and such. Create a dialogue. Don't just have a one-way push of your content. Try to engage your audience and use every platform you have available to you. In terms of engaging your audience, we'll go through this very quickly because there's a lot of other speakers who have talked about it or will be talking about it. But just look at this laundry list of things you could do, right? You have your own websites, blogs, email campaigns, widgets. Find out bloggers who talk about the topic, partner with them. Get partner organizations, leverage their contacts, leverage their email lists, leverage their events. Use all of the social networks, MySpace, Facebook. Use the different widgets, whether it's ours or others. Use Twitter, stumble upon. There's festivals. There's house parties, there's in-person meetings. It's not all about offline, it's online. It's not all about online, it's offline as well. And taking it viral, and what I mean by that, obviously it's a simple little phrase, is the content has to be amazing, the call to action has to be there, and the tool by which you use to make it viral has to be simplistic. So the most viral thing is obviously just spreading a word from one person to another, but that's why email typically is part of a viral campaign. But the part that usually people forget about is the content still has to be great for it to be viral, and you need a clear call to action. And then we've created a DWO guide just to, this is my last slide, just to give you a more step-by-step process. So I'm just going to flip through this really fast. You'll be able to get this online on our blog, the DWO download on Indiegogo/whatever blog. And you'll see here we have step-by-step checklists, things you could do, when to start thinking about things, how to do your fundraising timeline, break it down into phases, what you should be doing in each phase, who are the bloggers you'll be reaching out to, sample emails from people that have been successful at using Indiegogo, raising tens of thousands of dollars, and just more case studies. That's about it.